Like say shalom, koloyim la Yahweh Bashem Al Shah. Also with the honest sales of GMS, honest Akim, and peace and bless you, brothers and sisters that listen, hopeful elect, koloyim la Yahweh Bashem Al Shah. And this was a follow up to the last video. They are drunken, but not with wine. You know, we heard that pastor trying to break down prophecy. It was just all over the place, man. I had no clue what Gog and Magog was talking about. And, you know, we know this is prophecy right now, the whole Russia, Ukraine. But like Yahweh Shai said, the end is not yet, right? Let me read that first in Matthew 24. Do a quick lesson on this, man. You know, they're poking at the bear right now, which the bear is Russia, man. Okay, the bear is Russia. When the scripture talks about them, and read that precept, also known as Gog and Magog, all right? And like we said, show you these passages, you know, and they got their theologian degree, but y'all know absolutely nothing, man. And y'all don't study to show thyself approved. Okay, Matthew 24, verse 3. And he sat on the Mount of Olives, and the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us when these things shall be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming and the end of the world. And the scriptures tell you Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follows. So we know who's ruling the planet Earth right now. We know the two major superpowers right now, America and Russia. All right? These Edomites, man. All right? And Yahweh said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am the Mashiach, and shall deceive many. Which you know, Cesare Borgia was a major part of that in Christianity. Okay, and the doctrines that came out of Christianity, man, deceived many. All right? And he shall hear of wars, and this is the point. He shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. Right, so this is a part of that. This rumors of war, these are proxy wars, which is going to get bigger eventually. Right, the initial stages, the preliminary stages of World War III. All right, this is the prophecy, man. We're between the sixth and seventh angel right now. Wars and rumors of wars. See that ye not be troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet, because we still have to go through the MOTB, which the elite, like we said in the last video, are going to use this opportunity, because this was a part of their simulation. But it's going to spiral out of control and turn into the WW3. And this place is going to get hit with those missiles, man. Okay? And the second coming of Yahweh Shai. Things are not going to go according to their plan. Because we're not in control, man. This is all prophecy. You see? But they're going to use this to crack down and come down on the economy, cyber attacks, and blame Russia, man. Okay? As a matter of fact, let's go into what Gog is. Get Genesis 10. Let's get Genesis 10. Genesis 10, it says, now these are the generations of the sons of Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, which we know the earth was repopulated from those three men, which goes back to the line of Adam through Noah. And unto them were the sons born after the flood, the sons of Japheth, Gomer and Magog. All right, and Madai, Javan, Tubal, Meshach, and Tiras. All right, and Magog actually literally means the land of Gog, which means a mountainous region. And you looked it up, it tells you that's by the Black and Caspian Sea, which that's what? Russia up there, man. Okay. Matter of fact, let me look it up just to people saying, right? Let's see again. I'm not gonna put it up. It's H4031, Magog, the land of Gog, man. All right, is a mountainous region between Cappadocia, Media, habitation of the sons of Magog, the son of Japheth, the grandson of Shem, the grandson of Noah. Okay. And Gog means what? Mountain. You see? So they dwell in a mountainous region, and that was that northern nation that the scripture talks about in the book of Jeremiah, the 50th chapter. I'm gonna get that in a minute. And that was going into the Japhites, which are not white people. Okay? You have some Yah Israelites who teach that the Japhites are white. That's not the Edom. That's not. Those are talking about when you look at there's a name I was looking for. When you look at Sungir, all right, Sungir, you look at the Etruscans. Those are people of the South Pacific today, man. Okay, the people, the Malaysians, the Philippines, the Indonesians, okay, the Hawaiians, the Samoans, and they got pushed further east because of Philip of Macedon, who was Alexander the Greek's father. The Idumeans took over that land, man. When you go into what's this guy name? We know Alexander the Greek, but prior to him, you had Haman, okay, who was an Agite, who was also a Macedonian. Okay, and his whole goal was to take the kingdom from the Persians to the Macedonians. I went to the video on that. Okay, so they took over that region, you see. But yes, that's Japhite territory, which today those Edomites took it over, and they known as Gog and Magog. Okay, that landmass. All right. Now the scripture also says, let me get that, the book of Revelation. Oh yes, and this is the part. Let me get this article. We not forget. All right, so Gog and Magog, yes, that's talking about that landmass we call Russia. All right, and eventually this is going to lead up to an all-out war. Okay, it's mainly proxy wars, local wars, and turn into a continental war, which is going to lead to a world war. All right. This is the article. Moscow claims this is a culmination of an 8-year Ukrainian war. So they're saying this is not something that just happened. Right? And America's a hypocrite because you always start wars all across the world, man. Vietnam, Iraq. Then you went back to Iraq and you started to Syria. You took down Gaddafi. You just always start wars, man. Okay? Invaded the Grenada in the 1988. You took down Noriega in Panama. You just always, so America should be the last one to say anything, man. Okay? It says Russia Foreign Ministry says it wants to end the 8-year bloodbath in Donbass, which is the eastern part of Ukraine, and is mainly Russian citizens there, that both Ukraine and the West turn a blind eye to. The West spent 8 years ignoring the sea of blood in Donbass, starting from, they said, 8 years ago, 2014, and now claims Moscow is the aggressor when it stepped in to end the conflict. So they're saying you guys started it and we ended it. Russia Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Maria Zakharova told RT on Thursday, Russian President Vladimir Putin announced a military operation in Ukraine in the early hours of Thursday, claiming it was necessary to demilitarize and denazify. Wow, so they call them Nazis. The Russian neighbor. Kyiv accused Russia of aggression, while the US, EU, and NATO have called it unprovoked. So Moscow, Russia saying that's a lie. They said Moscow insists this is not the case. In announcing Operation, Putin said the main objective is to stop the escalation of war that's been going on for 8 years and to stop the war. Okay? So those two regions, Donetsk and Lugansk region, they said they've been fighting, which is mainly Russian citizens in those, it's on the border of Russia and Ukraine. They say that America, NATO, and Ukraine have pretty much been killing their citizens for 8 years. Okay? They pretty much went against those peace agreements that they had in 2014. Those two regions pretty much announced their independence last Monday, and Russia stepped in. Okay, so they're saying this is not something that happened overnight. And we also know that America and NATO wants to put missiles on the border of Ukraine and Russia pretty much said that's in hell's no. We would never allow that to happen, man. Just like America wouldn't allow Russia to have missiles right there in Cuba or the Bahamas or any Caribbean islands because it's too close to home. All right? So there's always a backstory on things, man. You see? The media have their own agenda. You see? And they trying to paint this guy like the bad guy, which you have a long list, man. All right? America, Babylon, man. All right? Pretty much these nations are realizing that you're the cancer of the world. Okay? Now, let me get this. I think there was a precept I wanted to get. I didn't want to do anything wrong. So that's the backstory in it. And I see today that they having more sanctions, which Putin said any more sanctions is that's an act of war. Right? And they cut them out of the SWIFT bank as well. See? And pretty much they gonna end up leading eventually to stop trading with one another, man. All right? So it's getting crazy, man. Oh yes, I wanted to get that. And like I said, the reason why these pastors can't break it down because they don't have the Rakakwadash. Let me read this precept first. Revelation chapter 19, verse 10. Matter of fact, let me get Ezekiel 38. Before I read that precept, let's get Ezekiel 38. All right, this whole chapter's deep. Ezekiel 38, 39. It says, "And the word of Yahweh Shah came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog," which explain where that land is today. All right, up there in Russia, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal. So the whole mountainous region, Meshech, Tubal, is like Georgia, Turkey, around that area right there, and prophesy against him. Okay, which Ukraine was also part of the USSR, Soviet Union. You see? And this is what the Most High said, "And say, thus saith the Lord power, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaw." So turn them back to how they was before, in the days of Stalin, when they were united, when they were the USSR. "And I will bring thee forth in all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords." Which you know today is the modern day gun, weapons, tanks, and of course missiles, man. Okay? And he's going to bring them against what? America, man. And also, as scripture says, he's going to come up against Israel. There's going to be a great shaking in the land of Israel. So that place is also going to get hit in the Third World War, man. You see? You can also read Ezekiel 39 as well. I'm not going to read that. And also, let me get Revelation chapter 13, verse 1. So eventually, man, you know, the rumors of war is going to lead to an all-out world war. Okay, and we in that time, man. Right? Things going to accelerate quick. Right? But like Yahweh Shai said, as of right now, the end is not yet because other prophecies have to take place. But right now, they're poking at the bear. Right? Revelation chapter 13, verse 1. "And I stood upon the sand of the sea and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns," which understand we know the 7 heads and the 10 horns. Which you know this beast is talking about NATO, man. Okay? We know the 7 heads or the 7 power structures, the Greeks, the Romans, the Brits, the French, the Spaniards, Germania Minor, Germania Major, the 10 horns are the 10 common markets that make up the EU, that when it first started out. Okay? And we know the whore is America that controls the beast. That's the head of NATO. "And upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard." It started with Alexander the Greek. Okay? He's a leopard when you read Daniel the 8th chapter. "And his feet were as the feet of a bear." So it started with Alexander the Greek and is going to end with the Russians, man. Gog and Magog. They're going to destroy this place. I'll read that in a minute. "And his mouth is the mouth of a lion." It's going to Great Britain. "And the dragon gave him his power and his seat and his great authority." Right? Which we know the dragon is the Roman Empire. You see? And we know the beast is NATO and the EU. All right? And they ruling underneath their daddy, the devil, man. All right? Now let me read I guess I could read Jeremiah 50. All right, so prophecy, man. Prophecy, man. Which the scripture says, let me get Jeremiah 50, and then I'll jump to that. Because Jeremiah 50 is a deep breakdown in itself. But Jeremiah 50:1, "The word of Yahweh Shemel Shah spake against Babylon," which you know that's America, "and against the land of the Chaldeans by Jeremiah the prophet." Because when you read further down, we know this is Babylon because the scripture says Judah and Israel were pressed together. That wasn't talking about ancient Babylon, man. Okay? That's talking about now. He said, "For lo," verse 9, "For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations." Right? Which we're going into Russia. And eventually, you know, like we said, he's going to put hooks in their jaw. A lot of those nations are going to come underneath that banner again, man. The USSR. assembly of great nations from the north country, Gog and Magog, and they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence she shall be taken, the arrow shall be as a mighty expert man, and none shall return in vain. Okay, that's also part of the Lord's army, Joel, the 2nd chapter. Okay, those horses are those missiles, man. ICBM nuclear missiles, man. Okay, those intercontinental ballistic missiles. It's going to do damage on this place and eventually completely annihilate it and destroy it, man. Okay, so it's the time period we in, right? And this is what we're supposed to be bringing out, because like the scripture says, Revelation chapter 19, verse 10. He said, and I fell at his feet to worship him. Sindra reverently bowed down to the angels, and he said, see thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant and thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahweh Shai. Worship the Most High Yahweh, all right? Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai and his son Yahweh Shai. For the testimony of Yahweh Shai is the spirit of prophecy. That's his spirit. It's the spirit of prophecy, man. The Lord always prophesied. We just read Matthew, the 24th chapter. And you pastors don't have that spirit, man. You don't have the Rakakwadash period. Okay? Yahweh Shai said it best. Revelation 3:20 said, behold, I stand at the door and knock, which is your mind. Okay? Lahab, what scripture says, your heart or your mind. If any man hear my voice, okay, the truth of the scriptures, and open the door, like we said, is going into your mind, I will come into him, the Rakakwadash, and will sup with him, and he with me, and you'll grow, and you'll understand more. Okay? But the scripture says, the Most High have covered your eyes. That's why you guys can't get it. All right? And Isaiah had asked how long in Isaiah the 6th chapter. And the scripture says, until the cities be overthrown and the cities without an inhabitant, until you guys are destroyed, man. Okay? That's when you're going to get it, man. All right? So, like I said, calling La Yahweh Shemal Shah. We're going to see how this thing play out, and we're going to report on it as it go on. All right? That's what we're supposed to do with a watchman. All right? So, that would say, calling La Yahweh Shemal Shah. Shalom.